Whew. I gotta tell you guys, this is like my third time shooting this video due to technical difficulties. I completely forgot to record my screen the first time, so all right, let's get started. So I'm coming at you on a Wednesday with a little midweek snack, something simple to sink your teeth into that's gonna help you elevate your creative Instagram game. This is my recipe for really awesome Instagram posts. I'm talking about leveling it up and giving your Instagram photos that like professional DSLR, really nice filmic vibe kind of thing. This is a 3-app tutorial based on any of the iPhones that have the 2-camera dealio. So it's the iPhone X, the iPhone 8 Plus or 7 Plus, and I don't think, don't quote me on it, but I don't think the iPhone 6 Plus works. It's a little bit too old. All right guys, so let's get into it. Here is my 3-app recipe for awesome Instagram photos. Bumper, bumper, bumper. I'm gonna start with an app that I have already done a full video on. It is called FOCOS or FOCOS. It's spelled F-O-C-O-S with an O instead of a U. Go get it on the App Store. It is free. It does have paid upgrades, but the basic version of this app is free. Check out my video in the link below if you want to learn everything about it. I'm gonna pop into the FOCOS app. I've already planned a photo with this app. Before we even get into just taking the photo, it's planning. It could be that you have to plan in a split second, like, oh man, that flower looks amazing, or the way that that car is parked right now, I really got to get a photo of that. I had a little bit of time, so I played around with some ideas on my desk, and I came up with this idea. Everything to me is motivated and starts with an idea or a concept. My concept was, I'm working from home today. I want to show a fun, whimsical view of me working from home. I thought, what if I kick my feet up on the desk? I started noodling with stuff on my desk as I was looking at it. And one thing I saw that I thought was really cool is that my screen recording app that I'm using to record this right now actually is on my screen. I can kind of do that infinite screen thing. I mean, this could be a really cool photo right here, but I'm gonna try something a little bit different, a little bit more fun. So I'm gonna kick my feet up and I put on some quirky socks. It's all part of the plan. Even though I'm shooting in a rectangular 4:3 format, I have to remember that I'm gonna crop this to a square for Instagram. So I'm just gonna kind of like in my mind's eye envision that square and kind of kick my feet up. I wanna get the so it goes on my monitor. I'm gonna tap on my feet so they're in focus. I art directed that control surface with the 3 balls over there too into the lower left corner. I thought that kind of gave it a nice balance. I'm gonna try and get my toe kind of in the rule of thirds area. It's important for me that the text so it goes is there. So we got a lot going on in this photo. This is pretty cool. Let's take the snap with focus. I can slide this slider up, tap on my feet, keep my feet in focus, but I can control the depth of field and I can blur my monitor a little bit. And I don't want to blur it so much that I don't see it in this case because I want people to be able to read the words so it goes from Kurt Vonnegut. It's part of the whimsicalness. But I do want to blur it a little bit because it gives my subject purpose. You want to focus on your subject. And this app, FOCOS, helps you do that by doing the shallow depth of field thing. So I want to focus on my feet. They're the subject of this photo, those quirky socks. That's what this is all about. I don't really like that cord coming from my control surface, but I think I can crop that later. And one cool feature that they've added in the FOCOS app is if you hit down here, you can actually get a bunch of preset lenses now from different cameras. So that's kind of cool. So I can just literally quickly play around and find one. I kind of like the look here where the so it goes looks a little more grimy. That's kind of it for this app. I'm not going to do any of my cropping or color work in this app. I'm just going to save this. So that's going to take us to app number 2, which is VSCO, or Visual Supply Company, VSCO. It is free. They do hit you up for like some monthly kind of thing, or you can buy little packs. I recommend just sticking to the free options first, but VSCO is my favorite app for color grading photos on the fly. It is a shake and bake, drag and drop solution. There's nothing fancy about it. I just think that this company has spent a lot of time really honing in the looks, but the interface is a little quirky, so I'm just gonna run you through it. It's a little bit strange. Took me a little bit of getting used to. So I'm gonna pop into VSCO, and right off the bat, it's gonna like hit me up for money or something like that. So I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna hit the little plus in the top right corner, and that's gonna take me into my phone's image bank. I have to import my image into VSCO before I do anything. The first 2 images here are the image I just took. One important thing to know, FOCOS actually spits out the image without the blur and the image with the blur. So you wanna make sure you tap on the one with the blur and hit import down here. And once you've imported it, you have to make sure you tap on it so you have this brown frame on it, and you have to hit these little knob buttons down here to go into edit mode. Now I am in VSCO's edit mode. This is what we are using the app for. It has some kind of social media aspect to it. Just ignore all that stuff. It's really simple. I've got a bunch of presets. I could make this black and white. I kind of want to keep this color. I'm feeling like I need kind of a warm vibe, so I'm just going to keep tapping until I find something that feels kind of warm. There you go, number 9, which I think is still part of the free package, I'm not sure. Number 9, put some warmth in the darks, and again, it's just a really good look. Just between the depth of field from Focus and this filmic color grade from VSCO right here, I feel like we're pretty much done. I just have to crop it now to 1:1. And for whatever reason, I like to crop it in VSCO. I like their crop tool. You just hit the little button down here with the 2 knobs and you go into crop, you hit 1:1 and you have your square and you can really dial in your composition. I wanna crop out those icons over there a little bit on the left because they're not doing it for me. Use the rule of thirds. You can see that this draws a grid. If you put something in one of those inner rule of thirds points, you're gonna draw focus to that area. And in this case, I'm gonna put my toe right there. It's kind of perfect. It's just where I want it to be. I'm just gonna hit the check mark. That looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like is that it seems a little crooked. I want all of the diagonals and the angles to be in my feet, and I want a lot of symmetry in the background for contrast. I'm just gonna hit this straighten button, and I believe you can just kind of rotate it a little bit to get it a little straighter and hit the check mark. There we go. So this looks really good to me. We've got a lot going on in this photo. We've got my feet as the subject. We've got shallow depth of field. I did that cool thing where, you know, if you really pay attention, you see the iPhone on the screen with the infinite feet going on. That's really cool. We've got Kurt Vonnegut saying "so it goes," which is pretty much how I feel about today. We've got the control surface balancing it out, and the colors in the control surface match the colors of my socks. I'm not gonna lie and say that I did that on purpose, but I'm looking at it now going, oh, that's pretty cool. I've got like a color palette going on here. Okay, so I love this. I'm just gonna hit save. It hasn't actually saved it. VSCO has not actually saved this to my photo gallery yet. I have to hit these 3 dots down here now and go save to camera roll. And I'm gonna do actual size, which is big. So that is it for app number 2. We've gone through Focus, we've gone through VSCO. You probably guessed what app number 3 is. It's really straightforward, it's Instagram. So I'm gonna go to Instagram, I'm gonna hit the plus, and there it is, it shows up. I don't need to do any color correction here. I'm gonna hit next and not do any color correction and just go here. I guess I'll put it on Facebook and Twitter, give it my location, and then I'm gonna write a caption and I'm just gonna say, working from home. And another kind of cool tip that I just picked up on Instagram, you guys probably know this, but I'm old, so I just figured it out, is if you do a period and then return, period, return, period, return, period, return, period, return, period, return, period. If you do that, you can put your hashtags down much lower in the feed, and I just think it looks cleaner, so I can say hashtag focus for the Focus app, hashtag VSCO. I'm not gonna publish this one right now, but I would just hit share and it would be on Instagram. And that's it. It seems like a lot of work. It's not a lot of work once you get the hang of it, trust me, and putting in that little extra effort into using these 3 apps really is going to elevate your Instagram game. Also, I threw in those little nuggets about composition and focus and storytelling. I think those are more important than anything. What is the story of my photo? What is the composition of my photo? What are the colors? Am I gonna use that rule of thirds? Is there a way for me to carve out my subject? All of those things, when you start thinking about them, are really going to help you elevate your Instagram game. All right, folks, that is it for this video. If you like this channel, feel free to subscribe, tell your friends. I just want to leave you guys with one last thought. It's a little bit unrelated. I had a rough couple of days, just work stuff and life stuff. We all have to deal with it. You might be sitting on a couch right now thinking, man, I want to do stuff, but I can't do stuff. I'm here to tell you guys, creativity is the key. I realized that I could come home and turn on this camera and make a video for you guys, and that made me feel so much better. It doesn't matter what you're doing or how you're doing it, as long as you just get up, just rise up and start creating stuff. Whatever it is you're creating. It could be making dinner. It could be, if you love math, it could be creating a spreadsheet of something. If you love origami, go fold some paper, whatever. Just get out there and create. Get up and go make stuff. All right, I'll see you guys later.